What's up, Guardians? It's your boy Octane, and today's legendary lost sector is on the EDZ, and it is Scavenger's Den. Now, let's talk about modifiers. It's barriers, overload, scorched earth, solar damage, and arc shields, which the boss has, and exotic head armor as a reward. Now, I'm using my hunter, gunslinger, bottom tree. Somebody asked me if I could do a gunslinger build on the Lost Sector because he doesn't have Anarchy, which is not a problem. And shout out to him, Mr. Chris Woods. I actually was running late on doing the Lost Sector video. I usually like to do it right when it comes out. But here's my loadout. It is Fatebringer, which you can use any kind of hand cannon you want. Hard light and rocket. Any kind of rocket you want. Code Dual's good one. There's bottom tree gunslinger. I'm using a weighted knife build with the gunslinger. Now, this is a very easy build, and the gauntlets are relatively easy to obtain. But you don't have to use this build. You could use any of the gunslinger builds. It's just very fun. If you practice with Arthur's Embrace, it's very fun to use, and the damage output is just stupid not to use. You'll see in this video. And I'm also using the Ordnance mod to give me Godslayer Warhead. Very useful. And Arthur's Embrace, like, even without the exotic for the weighted knife, it still puts out a lot of damage. The best bet with the gunslinger build, like I said, Code Dual. If you don't have raid weapons, that's fine. If you don't have Anarchy, that's fine. Like I said, I really do not like using Anarchy in Lost Sectors. It's just not my preference. I'd rather use rockets, especially when it's arc. But there are very few arc rockets that are very useful in arc damage Lost Sectors. Now, this Lost Sector is somewhat easy to the boss room. So I want to keep talking about loadouts. Okay, so if you're on your Titan and you got the Path of the Burning Steps, obviously use this with Sunshot and anything that's going to create a solar explosion. I mean, pretty much if you're a Titan, you got the Burning Steps, should be a breeze this Lost Sector. Warlocks, I would use Top Tree Dawnblade just because it's fun as hell, and your melees and stuff like that. You can use any exotic you want. Like, I like using the Lost Sector exotic, like when you get your super, I forget what it's called, Battle Mantles. Battle Mantles. Something Battle Mantles. The names are getting real long on these exotic armors. But, what happens is when you get your super, you have absorption cells, and, like, you output, I don't know if it's all damage. It might just be solar. Let's just say it's just solar, or whatever subclass you're using. It puts out more damage per hit on the chest plate for all solar weapons. So it's nice to have, and then stack that with ordnance or whatever. I mean, you could use Sunshot too. Anybody can use Sunshot. It's preferable on the Titan because of the Burning Steps. Okay, so now we're at the boss room. You want to be very careful here because you got that barrier right there that I'm fighting right now. You want to get rid of him ASAP because he's going to shield all the adds that are coming down that hill at you. Now, the boss is off to the right, up on the top ledge. It's one of those Lost Sectors again where the boss can just rain down fire on your freaking head. So, as you've seen, I covered back there against that rock before I came down to this log. But because of how high up he is, there's a lot of cover between you and him. But if you have hard light, which is suggested, that's the one gun you should bring in here. You can use whatever other two guns you want in the primary and heavy slot. But like I said, if you haven't done Vogue and you ain't got a good rocket launcher for there, any of them are good in there. Like if you get any of the Hexen's Vengeance in there, like it's really worth using any of them. But I have a Vorpal Overload one. That's the god tier in my opinion. But yeah, what you want to do is, like, switch to the arc and knock his shields. It pushes him back so he doesn't, because he's shooting solar at you and it really hurts. Dampener mods on your armor would help too. But, like I said, Arthur's Embrace is very easy. Like, you can use your gunslinger more than I did, But because I have Arthur's Embrace and I'm good with the knife, I don't really need to use it. And if you're bad with Arthur's Embrace and the weighted knife, just go into strikes and put that on and just practice. Just throw it. The best way to practice is throwing it at like Taken Scions or Scions. If you get good at crit hitting Scions with the weighted knife, you're all gravy with that. But the gunslinger build is simple. Like I said, it's bottom tree, so you want to hit your crits on it. But you can also use, if you don't like Arthur's Embrace build, you can also use top tree and have six gun, 6 bullets, and then every time you get a kill, you can keep doing it. So either or, it doesn't matter. Whichever tree you want to use, but gunslinger bottom tree, in my opinion, is the best one to use in lost sectors, and especially if it's unstoppables, because with Arthur's Embrace, it actually stuns unstoppables if you can hit them on the crit. So it's very useful. I am gonna try to do a Grandmaster this season with Arthur's Embrace, kind of like how I did this lost sector. So we'll see how Grandmaster goes out, but I get to get back to grinding because I'm not even 1340 yet. So see you on the next one. Please like and subscribe, and hope this was helpful. See you on the next one. Octane out.